Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Patricia Stuart of Patricia Stuart Originals. So I have some pretty much solid prints pulled, with an exception of this, which is a ghost print. And I want to do a piece of art. I may throw in a couple of other things in it. But I'm going to see what we can create with these pieces. Okay, here it is. I cut out random pieces by making marks on the back of each colored paper. So this is how I've arranged it. I had to take a picture of it because in order to glue it down where it looks like this, I had to remember the order that things are in. Can I do it? Can I make it happen? Well, we'll see. Okay, so I pretty much did it. Shifted around a couple of things. However, this is pretty much what it looked like on my phone. It's looking here. Now I wanted to add something to this piece. Just to mention, this here was a thermal screen print. I did a whole page. And I used a little bit too much paint, or, well, maybe not too much paint, but it moved when I was doing it, and so I got these different marks. But I decided to keep the sheet and not toss it, and it came in handy today, where I just highlighted some areas with my Sharpie paint pen and cut out a piece to apply here. So sometimes it pays not to toss things. So now I'm going to take my Micron 08 pen, and to bring some balance to this, I'm going to do some mark making. And we know that mark making can add to a piece. It also gives me the black and white effect, which balances what's going on the other side. Okay, so we have that there. I thought of doing a little mark making at the top here. I glued all of this down with just a glue stick. Sometimes the matte medium, I'm using Cardstock as my backing. It can be a little bit too much moisture for it. Okay, so I'm going to use my Sharpie here, paint pen. I'm just going to bring some marks here. Just to add a little something to the top. And then I can come in with my white Sharpie paint pen and just alongside, just put a little light white, which I don't know if you can see at the top, it adds something there. Okay. Now I thought about adding a little depth to some of these markings. Now I like to interlock, put slits in my paper and feed another piece through, as I did with the blue and the teal, again with the pink and the blue. And I like to interlock pieces. Now if I wanted to create a little depth, let's see if this will work for me. I think I need my fine point. Won't quite. As an aside, I bought a batch of these Sharpie pens, these new ones. These are fine point, and they're in these browns and neutrals. And I was kind of disappointed because they didn't make it in the medium point, which would have allowed more paint or ink to be used. The fine point is a little too fine to do anything creative, basically. And a few of them were already dried out by the time that I got them. So I was kind of disappointed. It would have been better if they came with a medium point or a much larger point as opposed to the fine. Let's see if I can use a bit of this brown to create, and I want to create some depth to the piece, but these are not moist enough at the tip. Let me try the Posca brown one that I have. Is not as brown as I would like it to be, so I don't find myself using it much at all. I thought it would have been a darker brown, but it's a very, yeah, it doesn't even show up on here. I wanted to show some depth, and I didn't necessarily. You have to be careful when you're using black, because there's a tendency to get on everything else. So the black isn't working for me either. Let me try a similar color to what's there. Wanted to add a little bit more depth, but that might not work. I'm trying to cover the black that I put on here. Okay, so that's really not going to work for me. Alright, so this is the piece. And it's different. Sometimes it's nice to just work with more of a solid print as your background, and then come in with a couple of design prints or ghost prints preferably, which is what I did here and on these circles. I kept the circles that I do with my hole punch so that I can, you know, pull prints off the circles if I want to and use them for other things. So it's good to work with more of a solid background, and then you can come in with your mark making and some other things to mix with it to set it off. I even think a little mark making in here would also be helpful. In the white spaces. And even sometimes to, yeah, I'll leave that. I was tempted to go inside and do alternate spaces of black, but we have enough of that going on here and here. Here's another white space. So this is just another thought. You know, maybe you would like to try it as well with just, I took an 8 by 11 and a half sheet of paper, and you could use computer paper, art paper, whatever you want, and I folded it in half and tore them, and I used my 5 by 7 gel plate to pull solid prints from all of those smaller pieces, and drew my design on the back of the print and then cut them out. So it's fairly simple. It makes for a nice art piece. And if I wanted to mat it, in the black, that would be nice. Or if it is better in the white, you know, it depends on the person and how they see it. I think I like it with the black. Like that. So that's another idea we're looking into and trying. That gives a nice abstract piece. It's very quick, simple, and easy to create. Thanks for joining me again today, and keep creating, keep doing art, keep thinking outside the box. Till next time.